Welcome all. In this video, we are going to see some of the programs on encapsulation in C++. So it means the encapsulation concept we are going to try in C++. So first question will come to our mind that how many kind of programs are possible in encapsulation, or what are the kind of program possible in encapsulation. Students, all of you have remembered before or previously I taught you function. In function we can do four types of programs. That is simple function where no argument, no return used to be there. Then second I taught function with argument but no return. Then I taught function without argument but return. Then I taught you function with argument and return. Fine. So these are the things we learned previously in function. So as we came to know in encapsulation, functions are included. Functions are included. Function also is a member of class. Function also is a member of encapsulation. So we have to follow those concepts only in this kind of programs. So at first, students, we are going to discuss simple encapsulation where no argument will be provided by the user and no return will be received from the program. So let's start practically. Let's use the online editor to do the programs on it. So this is our practical editor where we can try the program. So at first I made here the comment that program number 1 on encapsulation, that is simple. Simple means no return, no argument. Fine. It means no return will be received from the function itself, as well as no argument will be provided to it. So let's try the program. So the question I am taking for all these four kind of program, the question I am taking that largest among suppose say three numbers. I'm just taking the example of largest among three numbers. Fine. This is the particular question which I am going to try in all these four kind of programs. In simple encapsulation, in encapsulation with argument but no return, in encapsulation without argument but return, and encapsulation with argument and return. That is but return, it is actually and return. Fine. In these four kind of types, we are going to try that same question. Okay. So at first we will try simple encapsulation. Let's go to the editor and try the program. So here, students, I am taking the class name as largest. As I am going to find out the largest among three numbers. So I am taking the class name as largest, and L I made here capital. So it is totally up to you, as it is a user defined class. So we can specify it capital or small, does not matter. It is totally up to us. Fine. Let's continue. So as we came to know, every class has two of part, that is private. Let's write here private, and one is public. So we have to specify it private and public like this. So the data member we have to declare within the private section, and the function, that is member function, we have to declare in public section. So in private section I am specifying some data members. So how many data member I need here? I need three number to be find out. Out of three number we need to find out the largest. So we need here three variable. So I am taking three variable, and one more variable I am keeping to keep the result. So that's why there are four variables we need in this program. Fine. So now let's go for the public section of the program, or you say the function part of the program. So as we have previously known that in public section we have to keep the functions which are going to use this data. So actually, for finding largest among three number, what we need input, we need process, and we need output, isn't it? We need input, in that input section we have to input 3 numbers, and in the process section we need to find out the largest among them, and in output section we have to print the result. Fine. So let me take here 3 functions in that same name only, input, so, and output also. I'm taking input, sorry, I'm taking process, and I'm taking output. Don't think that, students, that the concept you have to keep, or the function you have to keep it serially. It is does not matter. You can keep output at first also. You can keep output here as well. You can keep output in the beginning. Thereafter you can keep input, and thereafter you can keep process. So it does not have any sequence. We need not to keep them in sequence. We can keep them in random. Fine. So in input, what will be done? What will be done? We have to provide 3 numbers. When the input function will be called, that time we need to receive 3 numbers from the user. So how can we do that? Now cout, enter any 3 numbers. Fine. Then cin, we have to write A, B and C. So this is how 3 number we receive, and the input function job is over. Now let's go for the process. Process will do what? Now we'll find out the largest among them. So that logic all of you knows already we learned before. So we have to use if statement here. If A greater than B, I'm doing in short using AND operator, A greater than C, then what will happen? The result will be A. Fine. Otherwise we can ask again, if B greater than C, then we can make your result equal to B. Otherwise we can make result equal to C. And all these logic portions I am not explaining here, because already we learned this. I am not wasting time by explaining them. Only the process part, all of you please notice, whatever to be processed, that has to be written in process part. Fine. Now let's go to the output part. So this is the callee portion of the function which we are writing at first, for which the coding we are writing at first. So in output section, what we need to do, we can simply specify cout, and we can give a statement here that the largest number is, we can make here who, res. So this is all about output function. So all the jobs are over, and I didn't keep these public members of the functions in a order. I kept them here and there, means output first, then input, then process. Clear? The job is over. The class is already declared and defined. Now let's go to main function to create its object. What was our class name? Our class name was largest. If you can see, you see here the class name is largest. So we can go down to create the object for it. That is how. Now we can write here largest. Then I can specify here, suppose say object1, first object. So let's make ob for object, or obj for object. Fine. So let's check whether I have written here L capital or not. Yes, I didn't wrote, so I'm writing here L capital. You can keep it small also, not a issue, students. Fine. So largest obj. The object is created. The object is instantiated. Once the object gets created, as we came to know before in theory, then that time once the object gets created, the memory will be allocated. Memory will be occupied. So how much byte it will occupy in this case? You see how many integer we are having? We are having 4 integer. If one integer is occupying 2 bytes, then this particular object, this obj, will occupy how many bytes? 8 bytes. Fine. Okay. Now the object will call which function at first? Input function. Why? Because input is very much required before going for processing, before showing the output, before running the processing as well as for output. So input, then I'm running here process, and I'm running here obj dot output. So all of you please notice what I am doing. Input, then process, then output. Serially I am running them. Fine. Let's program to run. Is there any error or anything? Let's check. Now it is compiling the program. See, at first, as I have written here obj.input, so it will run the input function at first. So here we need to provide three numbers that I provided. Then pressing enter, it will execute the process function. See, process is done in background and the output is getting run and the result is coming, the largest number is 5. Fine. So as we know before that the definition of the function, we can keep here and there. We can keep here and there. There is no sequence for it. But when you run the program, you have to run at first the input, then process, then output. You can change the sequence here, but there won't be any logic to get the result. So there won't be like the proper way of running the program. Fine. Suppose you have like a question to keep the output at first. No problem. You can keep the output here. You want to keep the input at last. So you can keep the input here. There won't be any error. See, when I'm running the program, I'm not getting any error. But is it showing our result? It is showing enter any number and waiting here. Because why? Now I wrote the input function at last. So let me provide three numbers. Let me provide three numbers, students. I'm just providing here three number and pressing enter. Am I getting any result? Am I getting any result? No. Why? Now after taking input, it is not doing anything. It is not calculating anything. It is not going for the process or output because we already did it before. Fine. So it is very much mandatory that whomever you kept as input, you keep it in a sequence at the beginning and the process you keep in the middle and the output you keep at bottom. So that is what the sequence of the program. And as they are, this input, process and output, as they are user defined function, so you can change their name, you can change their spelling. It does not matter. For example, in place of input, suppose I'm giving get. Get also is a way like to say to receive the data from the user get. Then in place of process, suppose I'm writing calculate, CAL I wrote. In place of output, I'm writing so. Fine, get, CAL and so. So I have to make it here also same way. In place of process, I have to do CAL and in place of input, I have to write get. As I told, they are user defined functions, so you does not go with the word what you are writing. It does not have any meaning, students. So I'm making here so. Fine. So the function name I changed. So now later on I will get the result as before, as they don't have any meaning in name. There is no meaning in the name. Input, process, output. There is no meaning in that. Fine. You can keep the name as your wish. It does not matter. But we have to follow the sequence, like input has to get run first, then process, then output. Fine. Hope all of you understood. This is a simple program which I tried with largest among three numbers. In our next program, we will see some other concepts. Thank you.